It has been a while, right? I probably should make a video, so... Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name is Cakazian, hope you're having a lovely time of things. I know I absolutely am. As the video title might suggest, we're going to be covering Celtic's first 10 league games of the season, as well as the games surrounding that. I just elbowed my chair. But yeah, we're going to be doing our best to review these games in a relatively fast fashion. I don't make videos very often, so if you like this type of content, you want me to do more of it, you know exactly what to do. You can like and subscribe. That is basically it. Intro! So let's start off with match day 1 of the league. We played Kelly on the opening day, a team that has caused us a lot of problems in the past season, but for whatever reason they just did not decide to show up. It was a very straightforward performance from us. We did exactly what we needed to do, 4 goals, 4 different goal scorers, but as calm as you would like. Very, very good from us. We had a couple of really good goals as well actually, but Itati, Scales, Kuhn and Ralston were the ones that kind of popped up with that, and you know, we take it. Very good, very, very cool. But yeah, I mean the stats for this game were about as one-sided as you would expect, right? We kind of cantered them. They had 17% of the ball, for crying out loud, so yeah. Up next are the 2 games against Hibernian, and for all intents and purposes, to summarise Hibernian season, not been very good. But for Celtic, we kind of did what we needed to do. A 2-0 win and a 3-1 win respectively, which kind of made it very easy on paper. This was also when Callum McGregor decided that he was going to become prime Andrea Pirlo and hit an absolute wonder goal, and that kind of made things easier for us. And in the cup match, it was pretty much the same story. We did concede our first goal of the season, but in terms of, you know, league play, still pitch perfect, so nothing really too much to really add there. Did someone say another Callum McGregor wonder strike? Yeah, I mean this one's short and sweet, man. 3 different goal scorers again. We kind of just took St Mirren for a ride, got what we needed. 3 goals, 3 points. Bliss. Speaking of 3 goals, 3 different goal scorers and 3 very, very good points, you know what game comes next, right? Yeah. Listen, I'm not going to really talk on this one too much because I have more games to cover, but to summarise it beautifully, yes. Absolute yes. McGregor gets another goal because of course he does. The man's goated. But other side of it, we had a couple of good goal scorers as well. I mean, if you want a really good pick out, Kyogo's goal. Cracking. Rangers didn't really do much in this game. They tried their best, and I mean, I suppose that's going to be a theme for how their season goes after this point. We'll touch on that later, but for now, Celtic did exactly what they needed to do. Classic atmosphere, classic game of football, definitely one that set the tone for us at the top of the table. Boom. Despite harsh circumstances this season, this was actually the first time that Celtic probably struggled in this campaign. It wasn't a particularly convincing performance, but we did dig out the result in the end. 2-0 it finished with a penalty from Angels, and of course that finish from McCowan right at the end of the game to kind of kill it off. It was 2 of our new boys, 2 of the new summer signings. They basically got the job done, so at least we know that the transfer business was actually quite good. Really much to add to this one. It kind of set Naismith on his path, so to speak, so there you go. That's that one summarised. This was a good game, right? Bro, let's be honest, we were major favourites going into this game, but I don't think anyone was expecting us to win as comfortably as we did. We haven't won a Champions League opening night in a long ass time, and it was probably the first time in a long time where I've genuinely felt like hopeful of a campaign. When you start off as well as that, that's only really going to kind of make things really good for us. Slovan did score a goal, and a very nice goal at that, might I add, but we had 5 different goal scorers in jail. So he managed to get his back-to-back penalties, so we'll love to see that one. But there was obviously the bullet header for Liam Scales, who's been growing into the game in this season as a whole, game by game. Guy is an absolute baller, but we did have a couple of other, you know, features as well for Rashi popping up, which is always nice. Maeda as well. All things considered, decent start to the Champions League campaign. Let's hope nothing goes wrong with that one then. Listen, I'm just going to wrap these 2 games into one section because quite literally they played out almost the exact same way, with the exception in the first game, the cup game against Falkirk, we were 2-1 behind at half time. We just didn't make that mistake against St Johnstone, but the kind of same theme played out. A couple of players got doubles. Kyogo got the one in the game against St Johnstone. There were 2 doubles in the game against Falkirk, with Ida getting a quick fire brace to basically switch the game around, and then for there it was quite straightforward. I think it was Kuhn that got the other brace, so from that kind of perspective, bliss. We did exactly what we needed to do, and to summarise both of those games, do I have to do this one? Shit. Okay, look, before anything, let me get this on the table. Dortmund were fantastic, right? They deserved their win and all that good jazz. However, holy crap, were we dreadful. It might genuinely be up there with one of the worst Champions League performances I've seen from Celtic, and I've seen a lot of bad performances, let's put it kindly, but yeah, we got absolutely decimated, essentially 7-1 on the day. We did have a brief moment of joy when Maeda got an equaliser, and we thought maybe there's a chance, but no. I mean, we were never really expecting to beat Dortmund, but a lot of us were kind of hopeful based on the way that we're playing up until that point that maybe we could have snuck a draw. So for us to get absolutely slapped up was probably a really fun experience for those that had to endure that on the pitch that day. Big up Trusty and Schmeichel for having their worst games at the most crucial match, arguably, up until this point. So, yes. Well played, Dortmund, though. And the thing is, it could have gotten worse. The European hangover nearly kicked into full effect with the first 45 at down Walls. We went 1-0 behind through a penalty, but we managed to once again, with the good old-fashioned Celtic trait of having one really shit half and then one really good half, we overturn it, managed to get 2 on the board. Both of the goals came after the 75th, which I suppose makes it a little bit more, exciting as a Celtic fan, but realistically this game should have been one that we would have won quite comfortably. But we scraped across the line. 88th minute win if I could, managed to seal it, and Johnston once again manages to get on the score sheet. That theme will continue as well. I'd have a friendly 3 days later against Sligo, not really much to note about it other than the fact that we won late. Yeah. This is definitely a mixed thing between Celtic failing to take their chances and Aberdeen absolutely making sure that they took theirs. I mean, Aberdeen had 4 shots on target to Celtic's 7, but the shot difference was 30 goddamn 2 to 8. So that should tell you just how ineffective we were up front. Of course, that's not to slight Aberdeen at all. They played a very, very good tactical game, and as their season has gone so far, they've made a very, very decent point of it to make sure that they keep in pace with Celtic and not actually making distance between Rangers, because after this draw, where Rangers fans were giving a shit, they proceeded to lose to Kilmarnock. I don't need to say anything else, do I? Well played, Aberdeen. We'll see you in the semi-finals. Hold on a damn second, wait a minute, that's not that bad actually. Remember how I said during the last Champions League game against Dortmund how Trusty and Schmeichel weren't exactly the best, if not the worst players on the park? Redemption arc. They actually came in clutch. They were probably 2 of our best players, but it was absolutely a team performance from back to front. Atalanta had a lot of chances, 1 or 2 definitely should have and probably could have gone in, but Schmeichel, like I said, did what he needed to do on the day. We had a couple of chances on our own. I mean, if you're looking at it from an offensive perspective, 4 shots and 2 on target isn't exactly anything that's great, but we did have 1 or 2 opportunities that had the goalkeeper squirming on their end, so I mean, we take that. And again, a clean sheet away in Europe in the Champions League. Damn well respectable. We take it. 4 points for 3 games. That's much better than what we've had in most campaigns, so despite the 3-0 scoreline, on a different day this could have been a very different result. We won 3-0 comfortably in the end, and to be honest with you, the second half was probably way more convincing than the first. But the first half was dangerous, right? We could have conceded twice. There was 2 woodwork hits from Lennon Miller, who is pretty much the summarisation of Motherwell's story so far this season. Guys doing bits for them. They're doing what they need to do, fair play to them. But in this game, it wasn't necessarily what they were kind of hoping for. Celtic managed to kind of pull themselves through after McCowan managed to kind of get that opener. We managed to cruise through. Johnston scoring once again, and Ida kind of contributing with a goal as well, but he did go off injured. Don't worry though, this time they did actually make the call right. There was a red card that was given because of said tackle, and that's how that game ended. So there you go, that's Motherwell. Which brings us to the final game to cover in this entire video and the recap so far, match day 10 of the league, the game that we just played out versus Dundee. Now this was a game that pretty much played out the same as most others that this season so far, arguably one very stale half and one very good half. This time the first half wasn't particularly convincing, didn't get a lot going, but when we made some substitutional changes in the second half, we got shit done. Johnston managed to come through, get himself a goal, which is always nice and lovely, and it was followed up not too long after that with an in-jails penalty after a Kyogo full, which was more than absolutely a penalty. So when you look at it like that, about as bare minimum of a performance as you can ask for. No one was particularly great or bad, it was just exactly what we needed. Got 3 points, quite chuffed with that, and yeah, that basically wraps up all of this. Oh yeah, and the fact that Rangers lost again. Which brings us to the final point to cover before we wrap up this video, and that's the league standings. There are a couple of key teams in really weird places. If you want some keynotes, both Edinburgh clubs are in the bottom 2, which is a bit surprising, but there's a couple of key surprises as well in Motherwell and Dundee United. They're fine now in the top 6. I mean, Motherwell are within touching distance of Rangers, and that's another surprise as well. Rangers are in 3rd, 9 points behind the top 2. I mean, they've had 3 losses and all of them have been in respect. Kilmarnock, Celtic and Aberdeen, and the top 2 are Celtic and Aberdeen. They've had pretty much perfect seasons, with the only mistake, I guess you could say, in respect to either team being that 2-2 draw between each other. So when you look at it like that, not so bad at all.
That's why he's the GOAT! The GOAT!
I want to take the time to thank you for watching, if you have, for this entire thing, or if you've just been skipping through the keynotes to see what interests you. I appreciate it nonetheless. Like I said, I don't really make videos this often, but I wanted to try and kind of condense this down into like 10-15 minutes so that you can get a rundown on the opening kind of stint of the season if you've just kind of wanting to keep pace. Plans to make a part 2 and part 3 as the season goes on. The part 3 will come at the end of the season, part 2 most likely between January and February, so do keep an eye out for those. And at the end of the season I'll try and basically put all these videos in one and have it as like a whole season recap, I guess. But yeah, that's everything. If you like this type of content, please like the video. You can also leave your thoughts down below, and you can join the community Discord. That's totally free to do if you would like to as well. I think that's everything though, so yeah. My name's Cakazian, thank you for watching the video. Hope you have a lovely rest of your time. I'll hopefully have this out before the semi-final against Aberdeen, but if not, let's hope that you know, we win that game. Yes, till next time.